Welcome back to another episode of the Red Pill Cartel. It's been a couple weeks, I think, guys, because I couldn't get guests on. Shit started falling apart. Uh, but it is what it is. But here's my incredible guest today, Behl Artt. How are you, brother?
I'm doing great, bro. How are you, my man?
I'm good. I'm good, man. This has been in the making for like about a month, but this
Yeah,
was supposed to happen about a month ago, and you had another little baby in your life.
facts. Yo.
Yeah, dude. Is the health okay or?
Oh yeah, health's great. But on top of all that, I had a couple different other situations going on, and I was like, for real, hardcore focusing and manifesting them out of my life. And so like, you know what I'm saying? So there was a lot of focus into that as well. Because okay, well, we can get into that as in when we get to what's going on now. Because I gotta tell the whole backstory on everything and how I got here, but
Well, yeah, that's what I was
that's
gonna
another
do.
story.
I was gonna ask you that. Like, what did you like start being aware and awake of all the illusion that's going on in the world, man? This whole realm is an illusion, I think, you know?
Facts, yeah. So let's see. When I was 17, I had this like massive traumatic experience. But like one thing it taught me was like broken people break people. And so out of it teaching me that, I turned around and was like, huh, good karma. And like there's these just minor deep thoughts that are like sticking out in my mind and I follow that trail. And so like after continuously doing that as well as like sticking meditation into it and after I started to meditate, I'm like, it's like you kind of tune out to tuning in. That's how I take it when like you get deep enough in it. So you like tune out of like the program of reality around you and to tuning in what truly is like within type deal.
Sure.
And so after I did that, that was like I finally got to like maybe 18 and I was finally like it's like I started to have I don't know if vendetta would be a good word. Is that like a something against? Because my vocab is not always the best, but is a vendetta
That's
mean
okay. Do you think
having something against?
maybe you're doing things out of spite to like you kind of want to get back at the world for beating you down, so you start doing something more creative, you know?
Yeah, so it's like the whole killing with kindness
Yeah,
idea is
yeah.
like, yeah, you tried to beat me with that and it didn't work, so watch what I got. And so
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
truly after I tapped in the spirit, I'm like, nobody knows what the fuck is going on. Fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, people do know, but like all
They
these
don't
people are
talk
just
about
like,
it.
yeah, I don't want to
Like,
call it robot mode, but
why
like,
isn't anybody talking about how the fact that like fucking Joe Biden, this old fucking dementia patient, is walking around as US president, quote unquote. Meanwhile, you see like seven different fucking people playing the same character. You know,
yeah,
like the Joe Biden we see on television today is not the same fucking Joe Biden we've seen 20, 15, 20 years ago, let alone
yeah.
2 or 3 years ago, right? Why isn't anybody talking about that? They're just like, oh, it is what it is, you know? It's like, no, fucking
Thing
think about what's going on, man.
for sure. Because I think
You're in
what
a
happens
fucking
though,
illusion and wake the fuck up.
people are scared to wake up though because the mass public doesn't wake up, and so if you're seen outside of how society wants to be seen, you're like an outcast. People are so scared of
Oh,
getting
for
being an
sure, dude.
outcast. But like that's the thrill in it. Is like I gotta go be my own person and be who I am instead of being like, oh yeah, can I get this Starbucks coffee? Oh, how are you doing today in the office? Like
Like a
like nothing
robot,
wrong with
yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. No shade on office jobs, but like a robot type, like
Well, I have a job where I'm kind of like a drone too, but I still enjoy it because I know I'm doing something greater on the side, right?
thanks. Yeah,
Just like you with your music, right? Like I'm
yeah,
sure you have a day job where you're supporting your family, but and it's kind of like monotonous and shit, but at the same time it's like you're awake, you're doing your thing with your
thanks. Yeah,
music, you're
yeah,
fulfilling your creative role for
yeah.
society, right? And your music is fantastic, by the way.
I appreciate you greatly. So what I think about that is we're in a society where it doesn't stop. So we have to like play their game while still playing ours. You get what I'm saying? Like
Exactly. Yeah.
and so eat whatever kind of job you have. It doesn't make you necessarily sleep, but what you do when you're by yourself and in your thoughts and like what you think of continuously is what could define you as awake. Because if you're always trying to think of a way to raise your awareness, that's a spirit trying to break the veil and get through
For
to who it
sure.
is.
We're in the apocalypse right now, and all apocalypse means, I've said it many times on the show, is that it's just a great revealing. It's the lifting of the veil, right?
Yeah,
So we're discovering all these truths, even in language. We see the magic in the English language because they call it spelling for a reason, right? It's all
yeah,
spells to keep us in this illusory state, right? Illusory state. Like even when you look at certain words, you can look at them and go, oh, that ties in with this word, and that's exactly why this word is tied in, right? Like the Constitution, for example, it's a con, right?
yeah, yeah.
Everything's an illusion.
Facts. Everything's just building blocks to build up what you want to see. And so, like, with spelling and all that, they want to hold you back on certain ways of not speaking with entire vibration in your tone. And so, with that, that's why some words are just like bland. That's why
For sure.
I like Latin, and then like Latin's cool because if you find the word or phrase you want to manifest, just think about going back to the root of manifestation as close as you could get it. And that's not as
Yeah.
close as you could get, but like
Can you
going
get
closer to the roots. Sorry.
can you get your yeah, there you
My bad, my bad.
go. All good. Yeah, but yeah, for sure. I know what you're saying. Like I knew right away, like when we started DMing each other, like you were like, dude, you have a podcast? I'm like, yeah. And you started showing me all your footage and your pictures and everything. I'm like, dude, this guy's on another level, man.
I just keep getting exposed and they're like, well, we've exposed them enough. I guess we can just keep doing it. But they understand my like it doesn't just happen with no reason. Like I'm on a certain path that's like pulling me to a certain position in life to where I can do something for the earth. And that's what I believe. And that's where I'm trying to get to. You know, like there's always gonna be people doubting, like, oh, you might not get there. I'm like, no, 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 I'm gonna do
Yeah,
as much
yeah.
as I can.
Oh,
And
for
so
sure, dude.
with my
This
whole
is
path,
this is our personal paths are to raise our vibrations enough so that we can shine our light within the darkness of the world, right? That it
yeah,
keeps our levels up, whereas everybody else is down. And hopefully you'll be like some kind of an inspiration to other people to knock their heads loose out of whatever fucking state that they're in, right? Like
yeah,
there's a lot of depressed people out there, man, and I know for a fact that certain people tell me about their depression, and I'm telling them that's a chemical imbalance because I have the same kind of thing going on. I have to level out my imbalances with certain medications. It doesn't matter what I do, how much I eat, like the different foods that I eat or whatever, right? I still have to have that medication to balance me out because I have an illness that prevents serotonin from going to the brain. So that's an obvious chemical imbalance, right? But there are other things that you can do to help you get up to that high vibe.
facts. You know, meditate, do yoga, you do anything with intent long enough, strong enough, it's gonna happen.
For sure.
And
So these in okay, the reason you reached out to me is because you have had, I would say, numerous encounters with strange anomalies of nature. Let's put
yeah,
it that way.
yeah.
So let's get into that. What was
All right.
your first experience like, and what was
So
it
my
with?
so my first experience, I was working this day doing landscaping, and I started tapping into my energy, and I'm like, all right, cool. And I'm just feeling the vibe. I'm not getting too in depth on like what I am and what I'm doing. This is all when I was 19. This was about I think August of 21, and on the way home, I was like in the clouds. I was seeing the clouds, but it was like it had some different kind of vibe. And then I just randomly made this Instagram reel of like, all right, guys, I'm about to get abducted. I'll see y'all later. And I go home and
Probably
like
just
when
as
I
a
go
joke, right?
literally like yeah, and it's funny how the synchronicities click in. It's like my subconscious had this joke that wasn't a joke, and my conscious didn't register that like, oh.
Right, right.
So I got home and it's like having a lightning storm. It's like it looks like it's raining. It's not raining. It's straight just lightning everywhere. And I'm like, I've never seen this before. I'm like, there's something going on for sure. And so I went out in the yard, took me a chair, and I meditated for like 2 hours. And I got locked in. And when I finally got locked in, about 2 hours later, after meditating completely, I hear a knock, knock, knock on the barn. I'm like, yo, that's not supposed to happen. I'm like, gone. I ran inside. It's like 3 a.m. at this point. I went downstairs. I got my wife, and we come back outside. I had to wake her up. I'm like, you got to come look. She come out there with me. She's like, what? I'm like, watch. Out of nowhere, behind a cloud, out and around, flies this light in the sky, and it's like swimming like a snake. It's like, as they say, the waters of above and the waters as below type
Hmm.
deal. It's like that was actually what's going on up
It
there,
looked
and it
like it
was
was swimming.
literally, yeah. And she
Yeah.
saw the same thing as me, and I'm like, but I'm sitting here telepathically communicating with it. I just did all this meditation. I'm locked in with this spirit and like this being, and I'm pretty sure I know its name, but like I'm locked in with it, right? And so we're talking about some stuff. I don't even know what we're talking about because like that's 3 years ago almost, and like when all this stuff happens, there's a lot more stuff that's happened, and it takes me time to like I don't know if I should say conceptualize what just happened or like completely connect with like holy like that just happened like what it's like I got it took me to like I think it was like January or February going through videos. I got a video of a shooting star when I said there's my friends. It's UFO, quote unquote. That's what I said.
Right.
But so after we see this light, I'm like locked in, talking to it telepathically. And I try to pull my phone out. I try to start recording it because my idea was like, oh, I'm gonna prove it. I'm not crazy. Look at this. And so through all that, I pull my phone out and he's like, no. And so he left. He like hastily disappeared. He's like, it's the whole entire thing with it was it's
They know.
wait, it's too early to let the other people know that shouldn't know that I know, that they
Mm.
know that I know in a way. And like we're past that point finally. But so that night I took a picture out the window because like some of these pictures I take, I don't see it. I just click, take the picture, look at the picture, and there was like that orb when I saw the picture of the orb of that other being that I saw. That other being is the first occurrence I had that I got proof of, but that was my very first like big occurrence of anything that could be real within this cryptid supernatural realm. Like that's my first ever sign of proof. And you want me to share the screen and show it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Uh, listeners, if you go on YouTube, you can check this video out. If you want to listen, that's cool. But if you want to see what's going on, you can check it out on YouTube.
Where is the share screen?
I could also take snippets of it and post it on Instagram.
How do I share the screen? Oh
Oh,
yeah,
there's a button at the bottom that says share.
oh, it says only the host is sharing right now. Only the host can share in this meeting. Maybe I put it in chat.
You can't share, only I can. That sucks.
Yeah, it's all right. I'll just put it in chat.
Okay.
Let's see. My apologies for this.
That's okay. You might not be a tech wizard. That's okay. I'm not either. So
I'm giving it my all though. I found the first picture. I gotta find a more clear picture because one of the pictures I have it circled.
It's
There's
okay
other
if you want to
pictures.
just share it later, and I can post it on Instagram and get people to go there.
All right. I
Okay,
mean,
so
it's all
just
right
keep the
here. I
discussion
can.
going.
All right. All right. I actually just found it, but yeah, I got you. So with all this, this is. Let's see if I said it all. So these are the occurrences as they've happened. You got it in the chat.
Yes.
Okay.
Boom. Okay.
So the blood on the forehead and the hand, that's
Yep.
after the orb. So that orb is next, but you see where it's circled and then where it's like zoomed out and there's that entity. And then like in the picture it says before the alien, but like when I what I meant is like without the alien.
Right.
But can you see all three pictures?
Yep. I'm looking at them now. There's the orb. Holy shit, it's big, big and purple.
Yeah. I got a
And then
live photo of the orb actually. And the live photo, it blows minds. Like some people just can't accept it when I show it to them. And they try to be like, I don't even know. It makes people question reality, and I love it so much because
you had things on your face, like in your hand.
no. So the blood on my hand
Okay.
and my that's from Bigfoot, right?
Okay. So you came into contact with it?
Yeah. So okay, I'll keep going with the stories. All right. So
Yep.
after
Keep going.
the alien picture right there, after that, about maybe 2 years later, somewhere around 2 years later, right? Was the orb first? I can't remember if the orb was first. No, okay. So 2 years later, I'm at my buddy's house. I'm trying to show him the picture of that alien because that's all the proof I had at that moment. And I'm like, bro, you got to check this out because, like, how? Like, I'm so confused. Like, not the fact that I'm confused on it. It's for me, it's not been super hard to grasp, but at the same time, it's like, what is going on? Like, there's
The
so
fuck's
like I
going
keep,
on? Yeah.
yeah, like there's those moments where I
And
come to
why
reality.
you, right?
Yeah, I mean, but when I had that traumatic experience at 17, I met this being called the Creator, and he said, "Do you want out of this like situation?" And I said, "Yes, I do." He's like, "What will you do for it?" And I like jumped instantly to like, "I'll save the earth." And after that, he took his staff and put it on my forehead, right, and everything went blue. And after that, everything changed. I got out of the situation that day and was like, but before all that, I had
Was that like a
spirit.
dream state, or was it like
I smoked like half a blunt, and I've smoked weed since I was like, let's see, 13, and I've never seen anything like that. But before all that, what it started at is like in the situation that was really bad that I was in. Like right at the very end, I had a blue light appear, and it was like not like a blue light, it was like a blue aura. It was like outlining this being, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, and then telepathically, this is the first moment I ever talked telepathically to anything. It's like I'm Athena, and I'm like, and so I started like following Athena, like, and at that time I was being
Athena,
a
like the goddess of wisdom?
yeah, like I it all just started when I was 17, and like thing after thing was happening,
Jesus.
and like
You
of
know what
course I
freaks
don't.
me out about this? Okay. There's a movie called In the Mouth of Madness. I don't know if you've seen it. I think it was in the 90s it was made. Yeah, like late 90s, mid to late 90s, maybe early 90s. Anyway, it was by John Carpenter, who is dubbed the master of horror. And so he's in the movie, the main character is having a discussion with this novel writer. And the novel writer is kind of like his own god, and he's like satanic, right? And he tells him, he's like, everything that you see right now is not real. In fact, when you wake up from this conversation, all you're going to see is blue. And he wakes up on the bus, and he looks around and everything's shaded in blue, and he's like, ah! He's freaking out.
That's insane. But you want to know
Yeah,
something
dude.
even crazier? Like, I love talking to people about this stuff because it brings up not necessarily different memories, but memories of things that happened in the background of this thing. So before I met Athena, right, I just had pop up. No, wait,
I'm jealous.
yeah, before I met Athena.
I had a
So
cat
before I
named
met,
Athena.
that's fine. But before I met Athena, I had a bunch of spiritual familiars, right? And one of them's name was Oculus. I swear, Oculus. Okay, so the first moment I really talked telepathically to another spirit like entity like you and me was Athena. But the first time I ever tried it out was with this like spiritual owl that I could see the outlining of. So that's where the outlining came from. Is I started seeing little beings like as spiritual familiars because I was trying to fuck with magic, and that's just the shit that was going on. So that's when I was fucking with magic, not knowing what I was doing. And that's about to the point where I had about three or four. I had one that was named Nox, and it was like a minotaur. And like in the bad situation I was at, I like ended up deep in the woods and had to run 10 miles. And like I was like going out of it, man. But I made it back, and I don't know how. I was like
How did
17.
you how did you start fucking with magic?
Someone walked into my life and was like, no, I don't even know what it was. It was some magic called to me, and I was like, "Yo, teach me some magic type." Like, I could just feel it, and it was like the sad thing is the person that put me through that shitty situation. That in like when I say shitty situation, it was like a like really bad situation, and he like used magic on me. So like I learned magic from having to remove it from myself.
Okay.
Type like my freedom come from me learning my magic to take off what has been done to me
Like banishing rituals.
in a way, yeah, like pure cleansing type, like.
Sure.
And so after getting into magic, it got to a point where now I'm talking to spiritual familiars, and so the owl. After I met the owl and the minotaur, and this all sounds crazy because it is. It's so listen
I bet you my audience right now, if they're listening for the first time, they're like, what the fuck kind of drugs is this dude on?
for real. So after that, I met the
But I'm with
owl.
you. I'm with you.
Just wait because I understand the same thought because it's like out of here, bro. And so after I met the owl and the minotaur, I met Prometheus, and I'm like, you want to help me out? Because these other spiritual familiars are fucking with me, and they're like giving me energy and giving me strength and giving me what I need. And I'm like, yeah, you want to help me out, Prometheus? And he told me his name was Prometheus, and then he told me last time he helped humans, he got tortured. And I don't even remember the Prometheus story, but that was spot on. And I'm like, after time when I learned that that was spot on, I was like, there's something going on now. Like this is not just regular. And so after Prometheus, then I learned, not learned, but then I talked to Athena, and that's when conversations became in depth. It went Athena, Apollo, and it's like these deities were
this
coming
this
to
is
me.
this is all in meditation.
No, this was escaping trauma when I was 17. This is
Okay,
where it
but
all
like,
came from.
are you in a waking state? Are you on drugs when you're communicating with these entities, or
I smoked like a little bit of weed. It was weird because I've never had weed do this. I think that the
did
magic
you see
continues.
them or did you just hear them?
No, I didn't hear them at all. I've never heard a spirit. It's a whole inner knowing of like what their vibe is saying. And like if I can't understand it, I in that point in time, I was making them give like hand signals and I can just see the aura outside their body. So I can't see their body. I can see energy that's outlining a body. And like when I say energy, it's like, when you light a candle, you see that little energy on top of the candle, like what
Mhm.
heat produces. It was something like that. It's like a little shimmer in reality that had a tinge of color to it. Right. But so after I met all these deities, they were giving me pieces back to my mental that has been stolen from magic being put onto me. And at the same time, yes, I was meditating, but I was meditating without all of this happening. It was like I would meditate, go and barely smoke a little bit of weed, and then like a spirit would pop up, and then I start restoring my mental, pulling me back to me. Then one night we were having a campfire. this spirit come out from over a fire and said, I am the creator. I will talk to you soon. Whoa. And after that, night after that, I'm chilling. I smoke literally just half a blunt, and boom, these spirits popped up. And I'm like, something's going on because they're not just talking. They're like all like formal. And I'm like, what's going on? And it's weird because it's more of like I know how they were because when you feel you can when you talk to somebody, you feel their vibe and y'all be vibing and like you know how you give like subtle hints on something's going on. It's like that vibe's helping as well. So it's like I'm feeling all their energy and it's like making me feel like I'm completely in a situation with them, but I just can't see like what it truly is like right there. And so with
Sure.
that, boom, I see the outline of the creator. He comes out, and that's when I had the conversation of, "You want out of this?" I'm like, "Yes, please." He's like, "What will you do?" I'm like, "I'll save the earth." And then he's like, "All right." Came to my face, opened my eyes with the blue light, and after that, I swear I stopped seeing all the spirits, and I left the horrible situation I was in, and I started meditating, and I started truly working on myself, and all of it stopped. It all like it was like a zzz, and it was like I was out. I'm like,
So so it's like they were there to like they were like your guardians, kind of like trying to help you
yeah,
get through the fucking rough times you were in, dude. And it's like I could, dude, I could see in your face like how joyful you are about it. Like
it
that's
like
that's no
changed
fucking
my
joke,
life.
man. That's
Yeah,
amazing. You're
I got cold chills working up because
on the
it
verge. You're on the verge of tears right now. I can see it.
like man, it changed everything. It showed me in the beginning, broken people break people. I'm like, I'm gonna be a healed, broken person, healing break or broken people type. Like, fuck all these problems. Let me just do what I can. I want to see solutions. But through the whole, I'll save the earth, the deal that I made with the creator 2 years later, boom. Now I see ET getting closer. I feel the key. I don't see it yet. After the aliens, boom. Now we're caught up to where I was. I'm at my buddy's house. I'm trying to show him that the aliens are real. I'm like, bro, this shit crazy. He's thinking I'm stupid, insane. Like, bro, I might be crazy, but look at my proof. Like, this shit crazy. And at that point, I'm like, watch. I took a die. I throw it. I said, let it be a three if you're gonna come show you to me. I throw it and it bounces twice and lands on three. I'm like, whoa. I've never seen a die land even close to like this. I'm like, all right, let me see a three if it's true type. Like, I'm just saying some stuff that rhymes, talking to the ET, saying, if you're gonna come show me a sign, let me see a three again. Lands on a three again. It bounced off this like my buddy at that time and landed on a three. I'm like, what's going on? And boom. I'm like, this is coincidences, even though I know it's not coincidence. I know what's going on. I'm like, let me see a
Most
four.
people, most people chalk it up to coincidence, of
Yeah,
course.
I can't do that. I already know. Like, I'm causing this upon myself. It's not a coincidence. I'm doing this on purpose. Like, and so with all that, it was a four, and then I asked for a three again, and he still wasn't convinced. He's like, "Nah, bro. I think he was scared. Some
Oh,
people
for
just get
sure.
people get scared, and I don't blame them. Like, it's been scary, but had a lot happen. So
And
good
then
to kind of get.
and then the fact that like stuff like this is like what most Christians would call like satanic and shit,
Oh,
right?
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. They demonize everything,
Oh,
right?
for
What are
sure.
your thoughts on like the whole religion thing? Did you grow up in like a religious household or anything?
Yeah, my grandpa was a preacher, bro.
Oh shit, okay.
Yeah, man. I think organized religion is for people that don't want to figure out what the true moral of trying to live the best life is when they just
It's
want to
it's
chalk it up to.
there to let us know that something is out there, but when you break
Yeah,
free from religion, it's like and you take everything that you know about religion and put it aside and you're like, oh, okay, so all this shit does exist and you're not telling us everything that we need to know.
yeah. It's kind of like a
And you're
you figure it
storing
out. This is
all
around though.
yeah, you're storing all the other hidden information in the Vatican for a
Yeah,
fucking reason so nobody knows that all this shit is fucking real, you know?
Yeah, I definitely agree. But with that picture of the orb you saw that night when I had, or that morning, it was like 1 p.m. that day when the dye all landed on those. And so after that, I go home. I go to sleep at 11 p.m. and I wake up at 2 a.m. and they say, come take a picture or like come look type shit. And they don't say it. It's you learn because I can just stop thinking, right? Just completely blank mind. It's so peaceful. But with that, if I silence everything, I'll feel how I feel. But if there's stronger feelings that are strong feelings, like, but it's something not like me, that's when I'm taking it of like picking up on a vibration to pick into telepathy, right?
Right.
So it's like you gotta feel what they're saying instead of like hear what they're saying. I mean, clairaudience is real though, so you can
I've
pick up.
had it myself
I think there's
through astral travel, through
oh,
astral
that's fire.
projection. I've heard disembodied voices that I couldn't see. I've heard it audibly. And when I
Yeah,
came back into my body, I could still hear them echoing off into the distance.
that's honestly beautiful, bro. I've been trying to like astral project for so long. Like,
It's happened to me so many times, man. It's crazy.
oh man, that's awesome. Because like, if I could astral project, or when I astral project, I'm gonna be like building realities that are helping the
There's
outside
different
reality.
methods. There's different methods that you can techniques that you can use to actually go out. But for me, it just came naturally when I was like 13 years old,
Oh, that's fire.
which is fucking super strange. But the last guest that I had on, I don't know if you listened to him, Joe Roop, but he has a show called Lighting the Void, and he talks a lot about astral travel, and he recommends everybody learn techniques to try and get out of body because once you get out of body, that's when you know that you are a spirit and not just
Facts.
a meat
Yeah,
bag, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
But there's something else. Yeah, I like that. But so after the die, that's the night that when they said come look, I went to the window and started taking pictures. And then I took that picture of the orb and I never saw it. I just took a picture of it.
You didn't see it there, but you took a picture, but it
Yeah,
was there. Just like
yeah,
the first experience when you took a picture of the
yeah.
clouds, right? Or a video of the clouds. You say, I'm gonna get
No,
abducted right now. You didn't even know what the fuck was there,
oh,
but you still
facts. Yeah,
captured it anyway.
yeah. That's like the first picture I got too, with the ET looking thing. I didn't like when I woke up, I looked at him like I was feeling something. Like, what? That's something there. Like I was very surprised. But so yeah, the orb was the first or the second situation. I might have the video right here. Give me one moment. And this video is because I sent you the video of the orb flashing, right?
You did, yeah.
That's that started making people really question what's going on. People
That
around
was
me
like
at least.
out on the corner of the street, right?
No, that's actually right outside my window on our farm. And
Oh, okay.
yeah, it was sitting on this.
But it was in the darkness, right?
Yeah,
Hmm.
it was sitting on, let's see what's it called. I made this like outside cage for my reptiles, and it was sitting on that, which was insane. I was like, first of all, there's pictures of you not even being here. Second, like, what is going on? Like, this is when my mind got caught up with what's actually going on because there's a lot to everything here, and like I keep seeing stuff, and stuff keeps lining up. Uh, that's the year when everything clicked into place too.
And when you say everything clicked into place, what did that make you how did that make you feel? Like it made you become a better person, or it made you realize that you had some kind of a destined path, or what? Like what really what makes you think that everything clicked into place?
Okay, so it's strange. At 21, as soon as 21 hit, I like something clicked in me, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna make this deal, and I'm gonna as crazy as it sounds, I'm gonna sign it in blood and I'm just gonna go. And like I was like, my name am selling my mind, body, spirit to the creator. So like the creator already own the creator of everything, right? It already owns everything. So I was just giving my essence to it because it's earning its own essence, right? So it was just really like a source key to connect into this energy. And I'm giving it all to the same creator that say pulled me out of that whole experience, right?
Mhm.
So the same being I'm giving all my essence to. And after that happened, it was like this, it's gone through phases, right? And I call it like I got a cult, but it's not like a Jim Jones drink the Kool-Aid. It's called Beings of the Bush. And it's because it's like essence from nature trying to bring nature back to thriving. And so it's like just a whole, it's just a vibe on trying to clean the planet. And that's what I told the creator I would do. It's like I'll save the planet. And so it's playing out still. And I'm just like, there's moments where I'm like, just remember this situation right here. Because when you question, is this actually going on? You've got to remember that you told yourself you're going to question that because you keep having occurrences of things bigger and bigger happening.
So
Because
you feel connected to your higher self because you have much greater situational awareness.
yeah,
So like every situation that you're in, you know for a fact that it is the situation that you're supposed to be in at that moment.
yeah, and I know when I'm not supposed to be somewhere too, because it's like I feel the
Yeah.
sync happen. I feel like line up and like there's a flow state in life, and when you're flowing through the vibe, you're like basically where you're supposed to be. That's how I feel about it. And so like when the flow state's like, I'm like, and that's when I kick in thoughts with what I'm trying to project. I start smelling and I smell that situation and I feel it and I truly push that vibration out of manifesting me out of that situation. And it's like I blink and I'm where I need to be.
Right.
It's like with manifesting, I've continued to pull it to me. So going back to when all this energy originated, after I dived into meditation, healing myself, after I meditated enough, I learned how to actually heal, like energy heal. And it like, I didn't know what was going on. I was just doing stuff, right? Because I got so full of this. And when I say full, I'm not saying full of myself, but full of this like spiritual essence I've never been connected to. This energy that I'm obsessed with because it's like love and peace and light. And it's only good. It's like breathing, breathing in depth and like expand, like make going through the complex situations or experiences in your mind and outside of your mind, like upgrading literally everything you can. Like that's what spirituality made me want to do. It's just constantly get better than myself. Like it's not a
For sure, dude. Like
competition.
I think that's what like Christ consciousness is. It's just
That's yeah,
being filled with like love that you feel like you can't get it out enough, like
yeah,
you're
yeah,
so filled with, I think Jesus called it the living waters, or Paul might have called it the living waters, where you're filled with, some people might call it the Holy Spirit, but your cup is filled up so much
yeah,
that you feel like you can't express it enough. So you try to focus on giving back to other people to the point where they're like, dude, are you fucking crazy? You
yeah.
know?
Why do you keep putting yourself out there? But you see in your mind that like just showing the love, like
Yeah, like
you're just trying
and
to be what you want out here.
it's like most times, man, I feel not everybody that I'm like in my life, but everybody that's in my kind of my circle kind of thing. But even people that aren't in my circle, I try to um just let them know that there's people out there that are still human, you know?
Yeah,
It's hard to describe, but like I post stuff on Instagram all the time saying just quotes that come to my mind and try to inspire people, It's like
yeah,
I can't even fucking find the words for it right now, It's like there's so many people that Like I just want to love everybody and I can't, you know?
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
oh, it's so
That just
hard.
shows you're trying to do as much as you can, and it's a wonderful thing to have. Is trying to just truly promote the best option, man. If people could just see the solution, I feel like we'd have less problems.
Yeah, like if all the politicians, like Sam Tripoli always says, like if all the politicians of the world got together in one room and just took mushrooms, they'd solve all the world's problems. They'd be like, oh shit, okay. So there is this whole thing is bullshit. Let's just
Yeah.
have peace, man. You know?
They're like they look up and they see the strings, they're like, I knew it. Snip, snip,
Yeah,
snip. You
yeah.
know,
Like, but they're so focused on the power that they have, right?
yeah,
And this goes into the daily life with people's jobs and like the higher ups at their jobs. Like it's a whole hierarchy of fucking serving the flesh and serving the self rather than serving others, right?
yeah.
It's like, look at me, I'm at the top. What do you got, peasant? You know? And if people would just erase that shit from their mind and realize that we're all in this shit show together, the world would be a better place. But
Yeah.
people think that they're greater than other people. And I think it's the ego, man. The ego needs to fucking die so that we can get on with fucking creating a better world, man. Sorry, I'm probably stealing your thunder, but
Oh
keep
no,
going with what you got.
you're great. Keep it going, man. I love going back and forth on different ideas. Like it's a
Cool.
fire down here. We gotta keep feeding it, and it's not
For
just a one
sure.
man thing. But so yeah, man, I like that. Oh man, trying trying to formulate this thought.
Like honestly, dude, it's like there's people out there that all they want to do with the tiny little bit of fucking power that they're given, all they want to do is make their miserable lives feel better by pouncing and treading on other people.
Yeah,
And that shit does not jive with me. Like I will fight back when somebody comes at me like that. You know, it's
for
like,
sure.
dude, you fucked with the wrong motherfucker. Okay.
Yeah,
Like you're not gonna win because I'm gonna find a way to win because you're an evil fucking cunt and
yeah,
I'm a good person.
yeah.
You know?
The morals always win. It's like the universe sees it. It's like,
Yeah, for
well,
sure.
and it's not always like the heroes
Got it.
always win
The
either. So
creator
I'm
is
not gonna
on
say
your
that.
side. The creator
Yeah,
is on your side when you focus on the good things
yeah.
and to be a better person. But these people seem to just live they thrive on making other people's lives miserable because their life is fucking miserable.
It's just the day to day. Go to work, come home, cook food, sleep, work, food, and there's no like actual thoughts other than come home, from work, thinking about what you're doing. You have to think about what you want to do or self project into reality. And how you were saying you think it is the ego that causes people to end up like this. Yeah, I agree with kill the ego, but I think that the ego is an important part with
It is important. It is
communication,
important. Yeah.
with communicating to each other. I think that it's important to that degree, but as long as you can have it tame, and when I say tame, you kind of have to like cut it all the way down to the roots. So at the roots of what the ego's for, use it for that, and then let it be like that. I mean, like, yeah, have your personality and all that, but you don't want to be a dick because you think, oh, I'm better than you. That's
Yeah,
that's
exactly. Yeah.
wishing more misery. I feel like when you're miserable trying to make it miserable for others, you just make more misery, which develops your situation into a more miserable situation. That's why, say, quitting nicotine. That's why it's the hardest in the beginning, is because like toxic trait, it's like bad habits die hard.
Yeah.
But as soon as you get it, like you get out and your energy reshifts, you get your karma right. Once you start fucking with your karma and being conscious on your karma, that's how you start evolving and upgrading. Because karmic
Yes, for
energy is
sure.
not just what you do for people, it's what you karmic energy is basically like law of attraction in the same way.
Hmm.
I think it all correlates to each other. Oh, So with my healing stuff that I was talking about earlier, I learned how to heal, and I started like first it was my leg. I got hit with a log, and I was this is when I was 17. This was like 6 months out of the traumatic situation, and I got hit with this log, right? And my leg went completely numb, and I'm like, what the fuck? I went to the doctor, and I was like dislocated my knee or something. This girl I was talking to at the time, she told me, rub your hands together and like massage your leg, and you're charging the energy and healing it. After she told me that, I did it, and that injury healed in 2 weeks, and it was good. I've never had problems from that
Wow.
leg again. It was done. I was like, whoa. And so as soon as I learned that, I feel like with all this, when I was younger, I felt like I was on more autopilot, but I was like on autopilot because I'm trying to get to the next step, constantly trying to upgrade and evolve. But I'm doing what I've learned is best already, and I'm keeping myself doing it. But at the same time, I'm still focused forward, trying to figure out what next I can learn. But so with all this, after I learned to heal, I healed. I had another buddy. I had a buddy that worked at a grocery store and was pulling a pallet jack, and he got his leg stuck between the pallet jack and like the produce or like the dairy section where it's like the fridge part, but it's open in the grocery store.
Oh,
He got his leg stuck, and he was like limping, and I'm like, and I just like, you want to see something cool, bro? Rub my hands together, did that thing on his knee, and like 10, 15 minutes later, he's running and jumping down the driveway, and I'm like you're good now, like. I don't even
dude.
expect thank yous or anything because that's not what it's for. It's I don't think
Yeah.
people should have to thank their blessings unless they continuously want blessings. But like when it's blessings like that, you don't need things. It's I'm thanking myself for being able to do it. So that's where I get it
Right,
thanks
right,
from.
right. Yeah.
It's like a service I enjoy being able to help with. But so the biggest thing that I've healed with, and this is jumping way past that situation, like 2 years down the road, my now wife, when I first met her, she had epilepsy and she's had it since she was 13. She had it for like 10 years. First get together, yada yada. I pulled like some spirit off her after I pulled this because like I started getting good with my like vibration of if I felt vibrations that were individual, as in like a evil spirit that's sitting on this being, I would
An
be able to pull them
attachment.
off. Yeah, I'd be able
Yeah.
to unattach them with help of like calling on to the creator, like help me with this, please. And I would put my own energy work into it, and I'd have him like behind me, pull them off. So like, got the first attachment off, and I was like, okay, so you fell when you were 13 because you were dehydrated and you passed out and you hit your head, falling straight back. I'm like, you did something with the nerves. Pop! There's this loud ass pop noise on the top of her head, and seizures slowed down. They were like every day, and they went to every other second day or something like that. And then they stopped, and it's been 3 years, and she's not had seizures.
No
Yeah,
way,
bro. Yeah, she had a blood disorder that she's had since birth, where her blood was too thin. She was told to never have children because she could bleed out. She gets with me, she gets pregnant. Tests show that she's fine.
dude. I got serious, like all hairs are standing up on my arm right now, dude. That is crazy.
Man, it's beautiful because was able to give her freedom back.
Right.
It's like you're held down from these
And you know what, dude?
disadvantages.
People always like talk about how like marijuana will help with seizures and multiple sclerosis and muscular dystrophy and all these different things. But if we could just tap into that energy and fucking, you
Facts.
know,
Yeah,
boom and lay hands like
yeah,
Jesus did, right?
facts.
These are the things that I've always thought. Like Jesus is the ultimate superhero, right? He always
Facts.
was to
Yeah.
me, right?
He's
Even when
healing, he's
yeah,
feeding.
all that stuff, right? And a lot of it's astrological, but
Yeah.
I think that the church has come to make people idolize him, where the Bible says you don't have any idolatry, right?
Bro, I'm telling you, I
We're
feel like,
supposed to be like him
yeah,
instead of worshiping him.
yeah. I think it
And
only
this
goes through the
is,
creator.
yeah, that's
But
exactly what he did, you
yeah,
know? and maybe perhaps in the future we will be people like you and I will be fucking beheaded for what we believe, you know, because we know the truth and we've tapped into that. You've tapped into it more than me, but
I've been
you
threatened.
know, sorry,
I said I've been threatened.
threatened.
That's how I yeah, that's how I knew I got into all of it. Like I'm in now. That's how
Right,
I
right,
knew.
right.
It's like,
Yeah,
yeah.
dude, like that's it's like I'm sure there's people who are listening to this that you know they probably don't believe your story.
Oh, it's fine. Yeah. There's a
Yeah,
lot. And that doesn't phase me. I'm not gonna sit here like, oh, I hope you do believe it. I want anyone that hears me to think what they think and just know that if they don't believe it, I get it because I asked if my wife had saw the first alien like multiple times. I was like, "You're sure you saw that?" She's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "You sure you saw that?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Or she was like, "Yeah." And I'm like,
right.
constantly making sure that like that actually happened, right? Like it fucked my mind up. Like no way that just happened. But she continued to tell me that it did. Like I asked her multiple times, and then it just continued to happen because I like kept the belief. I was like, I do have a picture. This shit crazy.
Do you think these entities in the sky that we see or that a lot of people see that we claim as aliens, do you think they're from another planet or do you think they're interdimensional? Do you think they're here to wake us up to our true potential or do you think they're a hostile thing?
So look at it like this. It's like humans. We're good, we're bad. We live on water in some parts of the earth. We live in trees on some parts. We live on the ground and we live under the ground, right? So as us humans having all these options to be good, bad, live up there, down there, these beings are like us, but I think that they've been here way longer and they fully evolved to where they continue to add on to their evolution, but they fully evolve. That's like the main thing. I
Okay.
think the goal is to fully evolve. Like they want to say we have dead genes or something like that. I don't think that's how it is. I think we have to fully like push past that and evolve.
Like
Like,
junk DNA kind of thing.
yeah, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. And so I think these are just beings that have fully evolved. Some use their full evolution to cause mayhem or havoc. There's always got to be polar opposites. There's got to be good, there's got to be bad, because without one, there would be the other. That's what I feel like, at least, because they're the same subject, but two different topics, the same
Right.
idea. Like morally, I want to be a good person. Morally, I want to be a bad person. It's still about morally how you want to act. So it's the same story, two topics of which you side with.
Sure. Yeah.
And so I feel like all this energy out here has its own consciousness, and it's all just see. We ain't even got to the Bigfoot yet. I think Bigfoot fully evolved.
And the reason why people can't capture him on camera and video is because he's on a different fucking frequency than you.
Yeah, fourth dimension like spirit being
Yeah.
that can come in and out. That's what I believe.
Have you watched the show yet on Netflix called Three Body Problem?
What's it called?
Three Body Problem.
No, I don't actually watch TV or like I barely watch
Okay.
YouTube. I'm
I know
constantly
there's a lot of people in my community that don't, but I still love entertainment and I still love watching shit and looking at like what I can see in the world right now. But
yeah.
Three Body Problem was it's a show where like these I think it's like four or five brilliant scientists in the UK. Um, they and this one Asian lady, she discovers in the 60s this communication that came to planet Earth from an alien race. And she ends up communicating back with it because okay, so it's a long story, but it's crazy because I think do you think AI okay, fuck three body problem. Do you think AI is Uh, Nothing new. Do you think that AI is here to help us, or it is part of the alien race?
I think it's
And
not part of the alien. It could be like part of the demonic force here to places. They finally
okay,
got their
okay,
bodies. They don't have to
okay.
possess us. They got their bodies. Like that
Yeah,
could be it.
because in Three Body Problem, they allude to that. Like, there's a scene where um this alien race they have a they have a problem, and it's called the three body problem because they have three suns, and these three suns go around and it causes chaos on their planet, and they can't live there. They can't sustain life. So they're communicating with us to come here so that
Trying
they
to get
can,
permission. Yeah.
yeah, try to get permission to come here and stay here and rule us
Oh
because
shit.
they can't live there
That
because
sounds
this
like the
everything's
reptilians and like
chaotic, right?
yeah.
So if they come here, they can fucking conquer us and live amongst us, but still kind of take us in as, you know, uh, part of them, assimilate with them,
Yeah.
right?
They're like, well, we took your planet. At least we can let you stay.
Right. That's what it is. And so there's these cults that kind of worship them, but it's going to take 400 years for them to come here,
Okay.
right? So then the UN finds out about that, the United Nations, and they set up like by the end of the season, you got like three or four main people called wall gazers or something like that, and they don't even know. Like one guy tries to back out. He's like, "I'm not one of these people. I'm just a simple man." And I don't want to be a part of this, but he's still pulled in because of all the shit that's happening to him. Like he gets sniped and shit, but he
Oh shit.
survives it because of a bulletproof vest.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't want any part of this. I told the UN that I don't want any part of it, but he's still part of it because the aliens know that he is a part of it
Yeah.
and they need him for something.
Yeah.
But it's
People
like
have certain frequencies or like
it's a long game. It's
yeah.
400. It's going to take them 400 years to come here. And so he's like, I don't want to deal with this shit. It's going to be 400 years. Like, if I have kids right now, I'm going to die. They're going to die. Their kids are going to die. What the fuck do I have to do with this? Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it asks a lot of questions in that show, dude. You should watch it. It's pretty awesome.
All right. Three body problem. I'll check it out.
And like they communicate with us through quantum technology. They
Okay.
sent these what's called sophons, where they take one fucking proton and they expand it into a supercomputer. And there's three of these sophons here on Earth that are watching our every move and know exactly what everyone on our planet is doing at all times, and it's collecting data, which is I find kind of funny because what we're talking about right now through our cell phones and our computers, they're all collecting our data and shit, right?
Did you say the particle was called a cell phone?
Sophon,
Cell phone?
Sophon. Yeah.
Huh. Sounds like a cell phone collecting data, and the other side is taking over, and the
It's
thing that's
funny
collecting the
because
data.
every time they say Sophon, I hear cell phone in that
That's what I'm
show.
saying. Yeah.
It's pretty wild. Did you say cell phone? No, they said Sophon, which is, and that's what the alien race calls it. But they're like super superior, like artificial intelligence and technology, but they can't come here quick because they haven't figured out faster than light travel yet,
Yeah.
right? So maybe, like, dude, I think this show is like trying to tell us something, like
Yeah. Yeah.
this is what they are. They already know. We probably got all the technology from them,
Yeah.
right? But they're slow dripping it. Like all the fucking artificial intelligence stuff right now is nothing new. They have it way better. Like the government knows about it. They have way better technology than what the little people have, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like a slow drip thing,
Yeah. We're like 30 years behind or something like that, right? Like the modern folks.
The little people, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. We're like 30 or 60 something years behind of actual
yeah,
technology that
and they
is
already
released.
have they've
Yeah.
already had all this technology. They have
Yeah.
med beds, they have cancer cures, AIDS cures,
Oh,
everything.
for sure. Yeah. I know
And I've
that.
always
Yeah.
known that deep down inside, but it's like, what are we supposed to do about it? Like we have to rise up and fucking find out like how to do all this shit without. But that's the thing. Like once somebody comes out and promotes the technology that they already have, they're fucking dead, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like water powered cars. No, you're dead. You know.
Hydrogen
Oh, you
power
got a cure for
engine.
cancer? Oh, you're dead.
Ha! So,
Because it's all about fucking control, man.
I agree. I understand like on a crazy in-depth level what you're saying too, though, because so after I started my cult to save the planet, it's about 4 or 5 months. No, maybe only 3 months after. Um, my grandma's. I'm there with my cousin. I'm 21. As soon as I hit 21, I like this energy like woke up in me, and I was just like on a wave. As soon as that happened, I signed a little deal, got into it, and then my cousin. I was at my grandma's and we all got like they got drunk. I was on the Adderall and I like barely drank because I don't like to drink. And so like when all this happened, I'm sitting there, and then my older cousin, like second cousin, started doing. Oh hell yeah,
I love drinking while I do shows.
hell yeah. Keeps the vibe right.
Loose lips sink ships.
Yeah, yeah.
Go on.
But so it was my like second cousin. He's older, right? He starts being a creep, like touching my other cousin who's like 18 and he's like 28, and it's like
No
first of all, we're
way.
family. Yeah. He tried to say he was like blacked out or something. I'm like,
Well, that's Georgia, right?
but when he started doing this, I'm like, my dad's from Michigan, so I got all that shit in me. And so as soon as he did this, I'm like, bro, you better like, and I started like talking 20 million miles an hour, like, better back the fuck up before you make me talk how I walk. And
Right.
he stopped for a second, and then he did it again. And when he did it again, something like snapped, and I fucking like, pop, 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 pop. Like what I was saying to him, like, motherfucker, this is not cool. Don't make me beat your ass because this is not cool. And like,
Sure.
it stopped. And then we're sitting there talking, and we're actually talking. And then something clicks, and he makes no sense at all. And he's talking for 20 minutes straight. And he's not making any sense. So I'm like, what's going on? Like, I know what these words mean, but what do you mean? Like, how are you trying to put them together? Because they're not making sense the words make sense, but what he said was not a sensible sentence
Well, he was
that
trying to justify his actions, which were horrible.
I don't even, man, he was talking some straight nonsense, but like real words. And then something clicks, and he looks me dead in the eyes. And this was after I started the call. He's like, you think we don't know about you? You think we haven't seen you before? You think if you want to do
Are you?
something to us, we can't just do something to you? You think we don't see you? You think we really don't know about you?
He said that to you?
And when that happened, I'm like, universe, give me a word. I stuck my hand out, pulled the power back, and I said something to him. And he like, come down a little bit. I'm like, and I did it again. I looked him dead in the soul and fucking did that shit again. And he hit the ground one more, like he was like on his hands and knees that time. And I like looked him straight in the face and said it once more. And he like literally went to sleep. Like I got threatened, and I'm like, creator, there's a problem. And it worked through me. And I like shot the threat in the face. Like, and that's when he straight up went to sleep. Like, and when I say he went to sleep, like he was out. Like that was the end of his night.
Dude, he had something in him and you pulled it out.
Yeah,
That's what it
I
feels like.
definitely
That's what it
agree.
sounds like to me. Yeah, yeah.
He was a puppet for that message to be pushed through.
Yeah, yeah.
And
What did his eyes look like at the time?
like Plato, but black Plato,
Fuck,
dark
man.
and dead. Like what's going on? And so after all that, that's when I knew I'm like, this shit's real. Like I'm into something. I started going through, and like right now there's like maybe 3 people in the cult, but it's not about growing the cult. quick. It's about doing the work that needs to stick. So it's like the long run game that you were talking about type deal. It's like
Yeah.
making sure you plant the seeds for the right fruits to grow when it's time to feast. It's like, I don't know, it's like moving through how we started earlier is how everything's a little ritual, and how if you can learn to sidestep in the right way, you're doing rituals to constantly advance. It's like trying to make sure that each thing I'm placing is pushing me further ahead, because after all these UFO experiences, the one UFO or after that, I'm listening to Cults of Conspiracy.
Hmm. Shout out,
While
Jonathan Jacob.
they start talking about John Newt, and I'm like, huh. And they're talking about Bigfoot, and they're describing him and whole story about him. So I'm getting like a whole profile of who this person is. And I'm like, wait a second, I've channeled ETs. I can channel Bigfoot. 3 days straight, I'm calling on to the Elohim, calling upon these spirits, like, please help me channel Janu, help me get this and that. Like, just help my channel go through. And so, boom, third day, I go outside, I'm going to smoke a blunt, and I feel the presence. And I'm like, I know you're here, Johnny. I know you're here. You can't like push me over or something though, because I'm smoking weed. If I just fall, that's not a sign. I can deceive myself on accident. I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not trying to do that. I'm sitting here smoking, windows down. It's dark outside. I'm at home. Boom! Right in the forehead. I'm like,
Finger of God.
something poked me in the forehead. I'm like stunned 5 minutes. And I come to and I wipe my forehead and I click the picture of my hand. That's the blood on my hand in that one picture. I click that picture. I'm like, what the fuck? And I click the picture of my face. And there was blood on it. And I'm like, Bigfoot just poked me. Like, and I got my shit together and I disappeared. I ran so quick inside. I was so fucking scared. I was like, I just got poked by Bigfoot. Like, there's no fucking way that this shit, like, there was so much like, holy shit, this just happened. Like, you right inside. I'm like, this shit, this is fucking, I couldn't believe that shit happened. But
That's
after
fucking
that,
wild.
that was my last little sign for a minute.
So do you think Bigfoot is like malevolent or benevolent? Do you think it's good or evil or
I think it's good.
just is what it is like us
I think
on
it's
a
truly
different
like
level?
positive.
Yeah.
I don't think they're evil or anything. I think that they like, if somebody has a problem with Bigfoot or if Bigfoot tries to scare somebody, you know, being truly scared is just more proof that he's there. So as long as he don't hurt you or like, eat you. If he's
Right.
scaring you, he's giving you what you want if you want to believe in it. You know what I'm saying? Like you're getting proof over anything. So being scared by something isn't necessarily bad. So I think he's totally like a positive energy.
That's another thing about the three body problem show that I was telling you about. The aliens were telling us we're going to make you learn how to fear again.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And the cults that were built up in this show, they were calling these aliens, or as a whole, they were calling it Lord.
Ward.
Lord.
Oh
Lord.
Lord.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And the people the people were like, what did the Lord tell you? You know?
What
So
the
it's like the
hell? That's
yeah, dude,
crazy.
it's so fucking wild, man.
But that thing that you're saying about fear, that sticks out to me because anytime I've had an experience, straight fear, bro. Like strong fear. Like anytime I get close to the ETs, I'm like trembling. I'm like, because it's not, we're not prepared for this.
Right.
And so it's so
People
reality
that
shambling.
yeah.
Like,
People even like myself who say like I'm ready, bring it on. No,
yeah,
we're not
yeah,
ready.
yeah. Still go piss yourself if it's right in front of you because it's like, it's fucking scary.
Dude, I
But
feel like I'm ready, but at the same time, I'm like, if I saw fucking like a UFO outside my window, I'd be like, shit, my fucking drawers, man.
that's what I'm
You know
saying.
what I'm
Like,
saying?
it's so, it's, it literally changes the
like,
entire
I,
day.
like, at the same, like, I wouldn't be surprised, right?
Yeah.
But I would
Oh
be
no,
scared.
it's not really
You
surprise. It's
know?
like, oh fuck, it's happening.
Yeah. Like I've had so many fucking and lately. a lot of I'm sorry, Cartel. I'm swearing a lot tonight, but I'm very passionate, especially with you, Art, Bell, Brody.
I
But
appreciate it.
if 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 you saw a mushroom cloud outside your window right now, what would you do? What would your
I'm going
initial reaction be?
basement. Everybody
Base,
go to the basement.
right? But see,
It's a nuke.
in my dreams, I hold on to the people I'm close with, and I said,
Yeah.
"Don't worry, we're all going to the same place." Right?
Oh, that's
So
cool. 'Cause
that's
you're already
me
like,
not that's me not fearing it. But if I were to truly in the flesh and not in a dream state saw that outside my window, I'd be like, "Holy fuck, we're fucked," you know?
that's why my first thought basement. Get to the basement, get everybody, get all you need.
Get to the chopper,
Yeah.
you
I
know,
think with a
like
nuke though, it's gotta be 3 days for no, maybe a week. I don't know. I've watched some videos on what happens if a nuke happens. So that's why I would try to take action.
there's also the
And,
question though, like if are nukes actually real or is it just a fear campaign?
and then we
Yeah, like
it's like
like
what
there's a guy that wrote a book. I did an episode on this like probably 100 episodes back that maybe the nukes were just fire bombs and the people that were in Japan were firebombed, right? Which would also imprint their shadows onto a wall, which would also, if radiation is a thing, which it is, but
yeah.
how is Japan thriving when there
How
was
are they
a
back in the
fucking
game? Yeah.
when there were two nukes that went off over there, right? No
That's a valid
radiation
point.
sickness, nothing.
Yeah.
Like nobody's talking about that. What the fuck?
What's really going on here?
Yeah, it could have been just fire bombs, like gigantic fire bombs, and the whole nuclear thing is all bullshit. It could
Yeah,
be, because I think shit would have popped off already by now if that was the case. If nukes were real, we you know they could do it. They could do it at any time, and why don't they? Because they want
they just want us
control.
to think. Yeah,
Yeah, they want us to fear it, right? That's another fear campaign, right?
I agree. Hey, I'm still right here. I'm getting the Bigfoot videos. I'm getting everything ready because I figured out how to
Okay, right now.
get it into the chat, I think. Yeah,
I see it.
man.
Yeah,
After I figured out about the Janu, aka Bigfoot, I started channeling it. And after I started channeling it, I had an experience where he poked me. And then I tried to show my homie at the time, and he didn't want to believe anything I was saying. He's like, "Nah, bro."
why
And so
would
we
he?
went out. I, I totally agree. Like, and so we went out to the woods. And yes, I was on mushrooms. I'll always admit that because you got to keep the story straight, clear, how it is. Until you make it more like if it doesn't change, or if you maybe add in more minor details, that's when it's like, okay, bro, he's seen some shit. Like I was telling someone else the other day, he's like, this is like your testimony. Like I'm like, bro, it's different.
Yeah,
But so I tried to show him the Janu, and we ended up going to the woods together, right? While we're at the woods, it's like 3 a.m. And then there's these three shimmers in reality. And yeah, I was on mushrooms, so I was in a different frequency, but we're just both been smoking weed too. And so it's like weed's not different for us. It's like normal type. And so him smoking weed's not gonna make him trip. Out of nowhere, we start hearing chimpanzees in the woods.
I
Like it
hope
sounded
this. I hope I'm playing it right now. I hope that it shows up on the video.
do the orb one first.
I really hope this shows up on the YouTube.
I did too.
Okay, that was one of them.
Did you?
And Jenny 2.
Those are sounds, right? So if you got it all the way up, you'll hear the first sound of Janu 1, and it's like I don't even know what to think about. Because if you turn it up and you listen to it, it sounds like a and it don't sound like
Right, right.
some it's not some regular animal. It's there's something different there. And anyone else I show it to, they're like, that's a monkey. I'm like, I know, you don't gotta tell me. That's Bigfoot, bro. They're like, and like they full on know that it's a monkey. They're like, Bigfoot. Like people get baffled. They're like, oh, you didn't just say that and show me proof. Like people start to low key freak out when I start
Oh, for
telling
sure,
my
for sure.
stories. On top of my stories, I got the sounds, the pictures, the evidence, and they're like, it's a little reality shaking. It changes the game for people. But so that first
Yes.
Janu noise, that night I was just out there and I was like feeling the vibe. I'm like, there's something coming. I'm sitting there recording now. And the first video, it was like you could hear Bigfoot start to howl and a chicken would crow. And I'm like, it's like 4 a.m. And then it happened 3 times in a row. Like Bigfoot would howl, like you could hear it, and then the chicken crows. Like as soon as he started. And I'm like, I can't believe this. And I was like so mad at the chicken. I'm like, you fucking chicken.
Fucking
Only
chicken.
if I could smack you, I would. But I'm not going to. And I'm like, I turned the video off, started it back, and that first Janu video is what I got. And it was like at the very end of it, I'm like, Janu, do it again. And everything's silent. And then it starts picking back up again. And it's like, I'm really like, first of all, Bigfoot gave me another chance to make a better video. I'm like, second of all, I told him to make some noise. And he made some noise. And I started crying for like, felt like 2 hours because like I get it. Like I'm crazy. But what is that? What is this proof? I know I'm crazy, but like, what is that? Like,
Right.
I can't tell you anything other than Bigfoot. And if you want
Dude,
to tell me
I
it's
don't
something else,
I forget who it was, honestly. If you check out excuse me, if you check out my Third Eye podcast, the host is my friend Ghost. He interviewed a guy who had a Bigfoot encounter in the early 70s,
whoa.
and he recorded the audio, and it was, dude, I remember driving. I remember listening to this podcast driving to downtown Toronto, and I was getting fucking freaked the fuck out because it was mimicking the people who were recording it
How do you know it was Bigfoot? It wasn't
in the
like a
distance.
skinwalker.
In the distance, it was mimicking them, like they were going like woo woo, and then way in the distance, you can hear it go woo
Oh,
woo, right?
oh,
Yeah, it
that's
was
so
wild.
right. I love shit like that though.
I love all of this stuff. It's
Me too,
amazing.
man. It is very beautiful. It's nice to know, like, whoa, school is just a rat trap to get you stuck to the 9 to 5,
Oh, for
and
sure.
life's just meant to be make like everything that they tell you it is. No, life's everything they don't tell you at all. And like some of the stuff they tell you, but you got to be able to decode. But when you truly decode, like the game changes. That was a little creepy.
Did you make that picture in the background?
Oh no, I found it on Google.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say that's totally you.
Yeah, that's why I like it. But I'm kind of freaked out right now. Like a plastic bottle just crushed, and there's not one near me.
What?
It's all right as long as the vibes with me. The spirits, man. I feel crazy nowadays because now I do be talking to spirits again, but I'm not like they don't tell me like you need to do this. It's more of like a and like with that vibe, I feel what they tell me I need to do, and so like. But on top of everything, those Bigfoot videos were crazy, man.
Yeah,
And
for sure, man.
I can't get the video yet, I don't think, of Here, I'll explain the situation. I'm gonna try to get the video because the video is beautiful. So, and all of my everything that I've had going, most thing, the thing I am most proud of is when I got the video of the UFO. And I was like, this is my friends. And a flipping light just it just flies over through the sky. And I'm like, wait a second. Like I actually got this video. And it took me in the very beginning when I was talking about how it takes like a month after like because I was talking about how I would start to forget things and things would just be piling on of like experience after experience and I would forget something and then I'd look back like later on and be like, whoa, wait, I actually got this. In the very beginning I was talking about this.
Sure, sure.
But this video right here, it took me like a month to look back through my stuff and I find this 40-minute long video on my iPad because I started on my iPad I started recording videos on it because I had it disconnected from Wi-Fi in airplane mode. So like you can't connect to it. It's like a secure device type. Like if capture too much, they're not coming straight for me because they're not connected until I connect to Wi-Fi. Type like
Oh
that's
shit.
yeah.
Okay.
And so I went back to this 40-minute long video and got this. And this was totally game changing for me personally because anytime I get any experience with any of the ETs, like Bigfoot's like one of my best friends, right? I feel like I have an intimate relationship with him. For me, being able to truly manifest Janu and have him show up and give me proof in situations like that, I believe I have an intimate connection with Bigfoot because I don't think people just call up entities for fun if they're not going to want to be connected. So it's just over time things have happened. Just like with my ETs, this video I just sent you, I say, this is my friend. And if you zoom in, there's this star. That's a video of the sky. So there's this star.
I see it.
And
It's
then
very, very small.
and then at like 7 seconds to 10
Oh
seconds
yeah,
in
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
light shoot by.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
And like that made my brain like more evidence. The evidence keeps going. But the evidence is truly only to bring me to the point where because if I could do this full time, just think about it. How much evidence do you think I would have?
Right.
Like if I could spend days in the mountains, I would have a lot of proof of the skinwalkers. Because I had a video one time of me and my old friend went to the woods, the same person I showed the Bigfoot, and after that he wanted to go back. He's like, that was so cool, bro. Like we gotta go see something else. We go back and I go up there and this time I'm not on mushrooms. We're not on anything. We just been smoking weed. I'm calling, I'm like, Janu, Janu, Janu. And I'm like calling out and we hear walking in the woods. I'm like, oh shit, we shine the light. We're like, yo, it's happening. And then this white figure walks across the path, 6 feet long, like hunched over, crawls across the path. I'm like, whoa. And he's like, it said go down there. I'm like, what? You said go down there? And he's like, yeah, it said go down there. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, you go down there. He's like, no, you go down there. I'm like, you go down there. And he's like, all right. I'm like, no, you can't take my moment. I'm going down there. I go down there. I walk up on a buck. I'm like, wait a second. Deer usually run off. I'm like 6 feet away from this buck, face to face, looking at it like, and my buddy's videoing, and all you get a video of is eyes and me walk back, and the deer had ran off. But like, me and the deer were so close, I went to try to touch it because I'm like, maybe something will happen. But I swear that was my first skinwalker experience because that was I've never seen anything like that and not be like with it being just weed, I was really blown away with that one. And then we tried to go back again and there was like some really in depth like negative energy there and was like something was watching us in a bad way.
What are your thoughts on the whole Skinwalker Ranch thing?
I've not really looked into it too much, but what I think it might be is truly like a veil opened at that place and like these entities live in both realms, and you're not going to tell them how to live. Some situation like that.
I just think like it's like a portal thing, right? And
Yeah,
people had their own experiences there, and then all of a sudden it became this ranch where it became super popular because it could have been a money thing, right? Like a money grab,
yeah.
because people go there all the time, right? It's even in video games now too. It's like this game Beyond Two Souls
Oh shit.
is there's a part where you go to Skinwalker Ranch and there's all these anomalies and shit. So like it could be just like a money grab thing, but I don't know, man. Like there's so much out there that we don't fucking know about, right? So
There, like
it's hard to determine.
when you talk like that, there's more out there that we don't know about than there is that we do know about. Like it's a scary concept to think that we have no idea what's going on.
No, we don't.
I don't think we have a single
We
idea what's
we
going on.
really don't. We really don't.
We
We
know
can
what's
we
here.
can comprehend what we can comprehend because
Exactly.
we're so limited by our own frequency level. Even in our own vibratory state in our flesh meat suit, we're still never going to comprehend everything until we're dead and we're in our own spirit body, right? That's what
Exactly.
I
Yep.
think. Yeah.
Yeah. We can't comprehend what the spirit body is completely
Mm-hmm.
because we
Mm-hmm.
have to be it completely to comprehend. It's like we can comprehend what every day we do because we do that every day. And it's like, you got to be there to see there type.
There's so many different levels of it, right? It's
Yeah.
like like as awake as I am and as awake as you are, we can only tell people so much. They have to take the crumbs that we leave behind
They have
in
to open
order
their eyes on their
to,
own.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, yeah. Ah,
Like,
man.
I've shown people the videos of the Bigfoot and they're like, it's a fox, it's a wolf, it's this, it's that. I'm like, okay. Never heard
Yeah,
one of them sound like that, but okay. There's people
right.
that try to keep their eyes closed, try to keep it.
Pretty sure that wasn't a bear just now.
That'd be
I'm
crazy.
pretty sure that wasn't a fox just now. Just
Yeah. I've heard,
saying.
look, I've heard
Uh,
fox. I live on a farm. We had a fox that was killing our chickens, and they don't sound like that. One time I got like 6 feet away from a fox with a 22, and I pulled the trigger because we were trying to get the fox off our property. It was eating all our animals. And so I pulled the trigger. Nothing happened. It was very spiritual. It was like, I could have killed you, but the bullet didn't go off. The bullet was fine and all that. And so after that, I was like, oh, thankfully my karma kicked in and was like, stop trying to kill something. Like, just
yeah,
chill. And I'm like,
for sure.
my bad. Yeah.
I don't need your food. I got McDonald's. We're okay.
Yeah. I just wanted to make a point. Like, I'm right here, bro. I can get on top of you again. Like, I can be right here and it'd be the end for you, but you need to piss off. I'm not trying to hurt you. Like,
For
after
sure,
I
dude.
pulled the trigger and nothing happened, I'm like, yeah, I got back on that
You
one again.
you
Like,
you and I are the people that people would say, "Oh, Brody wouldn't hurt a fly. Dave
yeah,
wouldn't hurt a fly," you know?
yeah,
But when it comes down to it, yeah, we would, you know?
yeah, yeah.
For
But it's like
sure.
we don't want to get involved in that because, like, I I assume and feel that you're a man that gets stuff done. So it's like whatever the task at hand is, you usually accomplish it. I feel like you're probably one of those kind of people. If you're a
I try. I do try.
go
Yeah.
getter, you're yeah. So even if you try, you're still one of those people because that's the first step is giving it effort.
Some people just don't fucking try, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
And
And so
another thing I wanted to get you on the podcast for was your music.
yeah.
Can you you're a hip hop artist. Uh I'm not a huge fan of hip hop. I'm more of like a metal rock guy, but
All right.
I do appreciate conscious hip hop,
Yeah.
right? Which is what you are into. Can you describe some of your lyrics, your beats, what you're inspired by, all that shit before we
All
close up?
right.
Because we're getting pretty close to 2 hours. So
Oh, dang. All right. Sounds good. So it all started when I was 17. It's crazy. I got freed by the creator. After I got freed by the creator, I just like went right back to normal life, come out of that crazy life. And someone around me said something about the cadence of your words with music. And at that, I was so curious and I'm like, oh, music. And I started freestyling after that, right? So right as the creator freed me, he told me I was going to save the earth for him. I started freestyling. So I got into something that could go big and I could start using it to make money and like, and when I say make money, I mean like I can go plant a million trees. I can do something with my position. Like, so he's giving me this position to
yeah,
pursue.
you're not gonna sell out. You want to take what you do, take in the energy, the currency, which is energy, the money, and then
Yeah,
do good things with it, right? Yeah, you don't want to sell out.
facts. Yeah. And so as soon as I started freestyling though, a buddy from high school started recording that music you listen to. He recorded it. So I get to go record for free and that's my homie that does it. So like
Nice.
it all came together right at the very beginning. Like the creator's like, here's this path. Go save the earth. I get up in it, been freestyling for like 5 years. All my music, none of it is written down. I have one song that I wrote, and it's not even posted yet. Yeah.
Oh shit.
All of that is freestyle. So it all comes from within, feeling the creator, trying to accomplish the goal of saving the earth, and it's changing frequency, showing that this life is not a game, but it's a game. You got to use your tricks to get out of the little trap. And once you're out the trap, there's this other shit going on. And it's like trying to think of some of my lyrics. And one of the songs that are unreleased, I'm like flipping through my fucking consciousness. And when I'm saying that is like, I'm truly going through things in my consciousness, trying to find things to upgrade my mental and raise my awareness. And it's like, and one of the songs I sent you, Simply in Me, I say the devil is seeking, or no, the devil is speaking. He's truly just seeking, or something like that. How he's like that negative energy out there is trying to get at me to like change. Like anyone that does positive, there's always going to be the pushback of trying to get us to go to the other side. Because
Absolutely. Yeah.
if we're this good over here, imagine what we could do over there. Type like that's what that vibe like type shit is. And so and it's funny because when I explain stuff, I say like type shit or like type like I try to like categorize it with a certain phrase because I don't know. I feel like I talk about so many different things because once you break out of normality, it's always, like how we know the government's just putting shit in our food. But with all of that being said, this conscious rep that I'm trying to do is trying to push into because music pushes a vibe into your mind. I'm trying to push my vibe of like life, love, and light into the listener's ears and let them do what they wish with the vibe of spirituality because there's something truly behind with me being in that. And is if the people want to pick up on it, it's one hell of a vibe. Like,
Yeah. And it doesn't make money really. You know, like what I do, I don't make money. I just do it for the pure passion. And you told
yeah,
me earlier, like, yeah, you do it because you're passionate about it. That's
exactly. That's
exactly
what
what it
you,
is. It's like, dude, it's gonna pay off in heaven, I believe. You
that's,
know,
yeah,
it's gonna pay off in the greater scheme of things.
yeah.
We are not Michael Jackson. We are not
Oh no,
Drake. We are not um, Beyonce or Jay-Z. We are not. All those fucking people are already. Uh,
puppets.
they're yeah, they're puppets, dude. They're picked up by the elites to promote the agenda of the elites, which is, you know,
Kill,
for the
still
devil.
destroy.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, bitches, money, cars, like the
exactly.
people that are still listening to that shit, wake the fuck up, man.
For
You know,
real.
for
Yeah,
real, dude. Do what you fucking are passionate about, and it's gonna come back to you in karma, right?
for
And you
sure.
talked about karma a lot, so
Oh, see, look,
cool.
next Wednesday I'm going to interview on TV for my music. So
Oh, nice, nice.
yeah, man.
Just don't sell out.
Oh, for
Watch
sure
out.
not.
that
Yeah.
fucking devil is waiting for your fucking your positive lyrics, you know. He wants to
Hey,
scoop it up, you know.
I had an experience last year in like September of I got close to the music industry and I knew that was right there with me. It was like, come on, give me what you got, do what I got, you get right in. I'm like, I'm just gonna stay independent because that's it was dark ass wave. I was in the club, performed my song, very first time I performed it. This 21-year-old white boy in the club. I'm the only white boy, and I performed the song, and they were fucking with it. And this music artist was like, "All right, here's my information. Hit me up." I'm like, and so I started getting in, and I wasn't getting in, but I was at the door. They opened it, and I step, and I'm like, "Oh, this started. It's too heavy." Peace.
There's doors that open once you do what you do, what you're passionate about. There's gonna be opportunities. There's gonna be doors that open, but you got to step into the right fucking door.
Yeah,
The
that's yeah.
door of people who are trying to promote morality and humanity as opposed to actually humanity is a bad word too because the devil uses that as well. Devil
Yeah,
uses humanity. We're all for humanity. It's like, yeah, but you're talking about the flesh. You're not talking about the spirit, right? So you got to
facts.
follow the spirit all the fucking time.
Always, bro. You follow the
Always, dude.
spirit. That's where discernment is. That's where
Yeah,
truly being tapped into what is and what's
dude.
not is.
This is what my show is all about, and you were a shoe in, and I want you to let my audience, the cartel, know where they can find you. Please let me
All
know.
right. On Instagram, you can find me at Behl.art, and it's BEHLARTT. It is an acronym. It means behold, everything humbled lives and reality truly transforms because once I am done doing the work for the creator, everything that is humbled lives and reality will truly transform. It's big talk, but I don't explain that I got a cult. I also, anyone out there listening, trying to join, come on, we waiting for some people. We trying to spread this energy. But anywhere else, you can find me at BEHLARTT. YouTube, you find my videos of the Bigfoot noises. You can find me on Twitter. I promote music and the videos on there. That's basically everywhere I am. And if you want to have me on sometime, and then in the future, I'm working on stories that the creator is gifting me. Do like I pick my paper up and I just write, and it's the origin story of the creator, the origin story of the evil, and yeah, man, it's like weird origin stories. And
Dude, you're all over the place. I love it.
when people read them, they're like, "This is deep. This is like, how do you know this?" And I'm like, "I did write it." Like really, I just write it like, and it's crazy
You know
because
what's crazy too for me because you're like what, 21, 22 years old?
22,
Dude, when I was 21 years old, 9/11 happened. And
oh
now
shit,
here we are. I'll be 45 in 3 days.
yeah,
And I got to connect with you on a deep level where
facts.
you're only fucking 22. And it's like, holy fuck, dude. You know, it's wild.
And when people like us connect, it's kind of like we leave this physicality in a way because it's not no longer just us talking; it's our souls and spirits conversing. Like
Absolutely
this
100%.
is wild, bro. Like you see what's going on. It's like say you see a car explode and you walk up to someone that's watched it too. You're like, dude, you just saw that shit. That's crazy, right? It's like processing reality together. Anytime anyone spiritual gets on it, it's always something crazy. Recently at work, I got a buddy and I showed him the soul door, and we're sitting here and I'll tell him little phrases. He'll do it in his mind and he opens his spirit. And it's crazy, bro. I've
I
been
love it.
able to guide through just words and the little rituals that give people more power. And it's crazy. Like after I told him all
Dude,
that yesterday, he's like, my day was awesome.
dude, you came, you saw, you slayed. I super appreciate you, man. I didn't think it was gonna go. Honestly, I thought it was gonna go pretty good, but this was beyond my expectations. So I thank you so much.
I'm glad you enjoyed it because I was like, oh man, I feel like crap. And I'm like, no, my soul is like, do it. You
Yeah,
got to.
we almost didn't have this again tonight, man.
Yeah,
We
for
scheduled
real.
like 4 fucking times and we hit it. We got it. cut, print. Love you, man. And I'll put all the links in the show notes. Give me all the links, and I'll put it in the show notes. And God bless you, brother. Keep in
God
touch.
bless you too, homie. Yep, we'll do. Talk to you later. See you, man.
Awesome. Peace
Be
out.
easy. Peace, bro.